Hi, just doing a film review here, which isn't like me, but I'm going to do this one film review about The Hobbit. If you haven't seen it yet and you want to go and see it, then do, by all means, go and see it. But this is going to be a slightly excoriating review. Okay, still here? Right, my wife and I have been we've been married 36 years, and we were both fans of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings before we met. We've worn out 2 copies of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, just gone and bought new ones, and earlier this year we made a pilgrimage to Oxford and visited Tolkien's grave where he's buried with his wife, and we also on the same trip visited C.S. Lewis's grave, his good friend. We love The Lord of the Rings films. They weren't perfect, but they were very, very good indeed. You know, all credit to Peter Jackson. We don't mind, we're glad he got an Oscar, and I don't mind him becoming very rich. However, the film of The Hobbit is a disgrace. It's worth watching. Much of it is very good. Gandalf is great, Bilbo's great, Thorin was particularly good, and there was a lot of it that was very reasonable. It was quite an enjoyable film, but it's about 40 minutes too long, and it's Disneyfied in many ways. As I was watching the film, as I saw the character of the great goblin who looked a bit like Jabba the Hutt, and a comical character, well, not at all frightening, not at all sinister, but just comic and ugly and stupid, and ridiculous underground fight scenes. Hobbits falling hundreds of feet, banging themselves on the rock walls on the way down, but being uninjured. Ridiculous, unfeasible fights. It reminded me of some of the worst aspects of the Star Wars films. I was thinking Jabba the Hutt, the Ewoks, and that second Indiana Jones film, that with the rubbish underground sort of battle that went on in that, and it occurred to me, this is all to do with merchandising tie-ins. They have prostituted Tolkien, and they have designed the film around the merchandising tie-ins they want to make. Let's just put Hobbit games. Let's just put Hobbit games into the computer and see what comes up. Here we are, is the Great Goblin, completely unrealistic. Hobbit games at Amazon. Look, blooming pages of them. Hobbit card game, board game, £34.71. The Hobbit card game, Lego, The Hobbit games, £42.25. Monopoly, The Hobbit, £26.99. Unexpected Journey, Lego, £37.85. The Hobbit, An Unexpected Gathering, £44.99. Look, here we are, is the Great Goblin, the Goblin King. They're looking like Jabba the Hutt, Thorin Oakenshield, Gandalf the Grey, the Hobbit board game, Defeat of Evil Dragon Smaug. You see what I mean? Peter Jackson needs his arse kicked. Now, I'm not saying don't go and see the film if you enjoy it. It was enough to make it worth watching. But I think you'd be to give it 6 out of 10 would be generous. Reviewer in the Sunday Mail yesterday gave it 2 out of 5 for the same reasons. I'm saying this was a guy who enjoyed and loved Tolkien, same as me, for a long time. So what am I saying? If you feel the same as me, you might not. If you feel the same as me, that Tolkien means too much to too many people, for the film to be designed by accountants and salesmen that say, how much product can we shift? Never mind, let's make a great work of art, let's make a great film that people will go and pay £6 or £7 to see and enjoy, and perhaps buy the DVD, maybe even a director's edition boxed set later, and we'll make enough money from that. No, that's not good enough. They've got to have the Lego games, the Xbox, all the toys and all the rest of it, and that's bringing it down to the lowest level that Star Wars ever reached, with the bloody Ewoks and Jabba the Hutt. Tolkien deserves better than that. There isn't another writer, there isn't another set of mythologies like The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. So what I'm asking people to do is, if you feel the same as me, then do not, under any circumstances, buy any tie-in products. Let them sit on the shelves. Let people take a loss on them. Express your feelings through the blogs and through Twitter and whatever, through letters. And Peter Jackson, he may not, I'm blaming him, okay, but probably the directors, the producers, maybe Saul Zaentz, the famous money man behind, who was clever enough to buy the rights up at a good price. Maybe it's not Peter Jackson's fault, but they can't make the stuff without him, and they really should do better than that. I enjoyed the film, and I will go and see the next one, but it's left a sour taste in the mouth. So, if there are indeed many, many thousands of us who have loved these books, who've loved The Hobbit for years, and are glad to see the film, who've been waiting for years for this film to come to the cinema, who think that the producers and the directors have actually prostituted the film, then express your opinions, leave the rubbish quality merchandise on the shelf, and perhaps the second and third parts will be better, and perhaps there will be an edited version of this film which will cut out, for example, Radagast, the Brown. I really wanted to find out more about Radagast, and they've written him in as a cross between St Francis of Assisi on dope and Wurzel Gummidge, or Catweasel, if you remember those things, from scruffy druids and scarecrows from British children's television. And Radagast deserves better than that. Tolkien deserves better than that, and those of us who've loved these books for decades deserve better than that. So anyway, this will be the last film review I post here probably, and anyway, do go and see the film. I hope you enjoy it.